Good morning, everyone. You know, we're going to be talking about something that's really, really important for us in this life, and that's the fact that we don't live in this world forever. Has anybody here had an animal or a pet that has passed away, that has died? Have you ever had or heard of a friend that maybe had a dog or a kitten that has no longer with us? Her kitten died. Yeah, Kenzie said her kitten died. It's very sad when things die here in this world, isn't it? When we don't get to see our pets anymore, we don't get to see our loved ones, maybe our brother or our sister or our husband or our wife or maybe our parents. At some point, all of us are going to live in heaven and not live in this world anymore. And that's something that's true about everything in this world. So we're going to talk about that for a minute by thinking about these two rocks. Are these two rocks the same? No? What's different about these two rocks? You want to feel them? You want to touch the rocks and see what they feel like? What's different about these two rocks? What do you think? What's different about the two? This one's bumpy and this one's not. This one's nice and smooth, isn't it? Do you think that this rock just existed and it was smooth all the time? Yeah? It's crazy because sometimes rocks that look like this over a very long period of time end up looking just like this. That over a long period of time, this little teeny smooth rock has slowly gone from maybe a big, big rock, and water and wind has blown over top of this big rock for a long period of time until it becomes smaller and smoother. And you know what's amazing? Someday, if water and rain and wind keep on blowing over this rock forever, this rock will no longer exist. Just like everything in this world, it goes from something into nothing. No. You're a smart guy. Because it doesn't go to nothing. You know, it is very sad when we don't get to be with somebody in this world anymore. But there's something really important that the Lord wants us to learn, is that life is eternal. It means we live forever. Isn't that amazing? The Lord can make us live forever. And not just in these bodies that we have, but in our spirits. We're going to read a story today where the Lord is trying to teach us this lesson that we get to live forever. And that means that all of the people that we love, that have been here in this world with us, that they are still alive. That they're with us, that the Lord is taking very good care of them. This is a story about a little girl who had passed away, and the Lord is trying to teach us a lesson by showing us that He could raise her from the dead. And listen to what He says here. This is in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 5, and we'll begin in verse 21. Now, when Jesus had crossed over by boat to the other side of the sea, a great multitude gathered to him, and he was by the sea. And behold, one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name, when he saw him, he fell at his feet and begged him earnestly, saying, "My little daughter lies at the point of death. Come and lay your hands on her that she may be healed and she will live." Can you imagine this father? His little daughter is very sick and he knows that she will die if nothing happens. So he goes to the right person. Who does he go to? Heal his daughter. He goes to the Lord, right? So Jesus went with him, and a great multitude followed him and thronged him. I'm going to skip down into verse 35, where it says, while he was still speaking, some others came from the rulers of the synagogue's house who said, but your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any farther? So they're saying she already died. As soon as Jesus heard the word that was spoken, he said to the ruler of the synagogue, do not be afraid, only believe. Can we all repeat that together? Do not be afraid, only believe. Let's say that one more time. Do not be afraid, only believe. What are we believing here? You know what we said in our recitation this morning? The recitation said, I am the resurrection and the life. And that was the Lord speaking. I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he might die, he shall live. So the Lord is trying to remind us, don't be afraid, but believe. Believe that he can make us live forever. So, do not be afraid, only believe. And he permitted no one to follow him except Peter, James, and John, the brother of James. Then he came to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and he saw a commotion with those who wept and wailed loudly. They were so sad about this girl. When he came in, he said to them, why make this commotion and weep? This child is not dead. She is sleeping. Wouldn't that be exciting for the father who thought his daughter had died? And Jesus says, she's not dead. She's only sleeping. What happens when we sleep? We wake up. You're very smart. You are very smart. Thank you. Yes, we wake up when we're sleeping. So the Lord's saying, dying in this world is kind of like sleeping in a way, because we are going to wake up. Do not be afraid, only believe. So they ridiculed him. But when he had put them all outside, he took the father and the mother of the child and those who were with him and entered where the child was lying. Then he took the child by the hand and said to her, Talitha kumi, which is translated, little girl, I say to you, arise. Immediately the girl arose and walked, for she was 12 years of age, and they were overcome with great amazement. But he commanded them strictly, saying that no one should know it, and said something should be given to her to eat. So what happened with the little girl in the end? Did she end up dying? No. Because what happened? Did the Lord take her by the hand? So the Lord took her by the hand and said to arise. And she got up and she walked. It's hard for us to believe sometimes that the Lord has made us to live forever. And that even though our bodies don't last forever, that we go on forever. And you know what's so wonderful about this is that all of the people that we've loved in this world that might be here sometimes and then they might have died. Maybe you'll have a grandparents or great-grandparents at some point that will pass away. They're still with us because the Lord has raised them into heaven. Isn't that a wonderful lesson for us to remember that the Lord made us forever?